I mean, how many times has this happened, Jake, where some crazy feminist is running down me or Myron or Brian at the whatever pocket? This happens constantly. And I'll go to their channel. I'll go to their channel and it'll be highlighted with like 800 likes from the community. I'll be like, why don't I just come on and discuss this with you? Because you just lied about an awful lot.
And they go destroys their narrative.
Yeah, and that's right. And what they'll do is they'll make a video the next day. Andrew Wilson upset with me because blah blah blah. Yeah. Well, you can make a video. I don't want to tit for tat. I want to go on and talk to you about why the you're lying about
bad faith.
It's funny.
Bad
faith. It's bad faith.
Like I don't give a shit if he brings me on or not. Quite frankly, honestly, I think at this point, like I'm more relevant than he is. But the thing is that don't bring people on that are like gonna constantly shit on me and talk about me and talk about Rolo and Andrew Tate and everybody else, and you're too to bring us on because you're scared of losing your audience, but you bring these other loser pseudo guys on that talk shit on us all the time, attack our credibility, and we can't even defend ourselves. Yeah, that's stupid.
Think about
it's
it.
Annoying.
So think about it from their standpoint, and I mentioned this before when we call it gatekeeping. Yeah. The concept is this: like we're getting attacked all the time, and we're debating all the time, and we're doing 10, 20 hours of content per week. If we go on there, if you go on Chris Williamson, you're not going to come off sounding like a lunatic. I wouldn't. You wouldn't come off sounding like a lunatic.
And he's going to get views.
And the problem,
that's the other thing that pisses me off. He's going to get views. Like stop being a
the problem,
or don't platform these dickheads.
Exactly. The problem isn't that his audience will not like us. The problem is that his audience will like us. Yeah. And then at that point, now the message is mixed. And then you get a bunch of people in the comments like, I liked your show, but you did have this one guy on and I'm not going to follow. And then you're going to have people who completely take all of us out of context and like, I'm never coming back on your show. And then the other thing is he's got advertisers, and that's also a big
But most of that is all ops. Like, let me give you the point of the op, right? How many times have you guys, all of you guys, everyone sitting at this table has seen this? I'm a big fan of such and such, but man, they really lost this one. I'm a big fan of such and such, but he really is off. He's really out to lunch on this one. They're not your fans.
No, bro, they're not your
fans. They're the fan of the other guy, and they're coming in and they're trying to poison the well. They're not your fans. Yeah. Like what are you talking about? And I see this under Myron, that the last debate that you did. Yeah. Right. And
with Tatum, Destiny.
It was Destiny. It was the Destiny. Well, and the Tatum one too. Same thing.
Yeah.
I used to be a big fan of Myron until this debate.
Oh yeah.
I used to be a big fan of Myron, and then I saw this debate, and now I hate him. And now I'm not a big fan. I'm like, this guy's been talking about this for the last year. It wasn't this debate that changed your mind. They're op chatters, right? They're there specifically to poison the well, change the narrative. So I don't believe any of that anyway. I always laugh at these people. I always think it's so funny.
I was watching Rob Henderson not too long ago, and I forget the name of the chick he was on. He's a evolutionary psychologist guy that I follow quite a bit. And he mentioned me by name, and he was like, "Oh, there's this Rollo Tomasi guy. I guess is the rational male. Blah blah blah." I don't know much about him. I have him on mute, on Twitter. But let me tell you, for the next 45 minutes,
all about.
Yeah.
Do you like? And you have a doctorate, you have a DR.
And here's the thing: like you two guys, look, I can see why they must say, "Okay, Myron's really this guy's whatever." All right, fine, don't platform me. But like, I don't know why they don't platform you guys. You guys are clean. Like you guys are far reputation.
You know why? Because we're not.
Well, hang on, I'm not.
Ecosystem.
Look, I'm sorry. I do get platformed a lot in the mainstream. I do. Right. So I'm not part of the they won't platform.
Well, what they'll do is they'll take our ideas and run it right up to the gate, and then they'll pull out the stuff that they like, and then they'll say, "We can't. Look at what we made."
I think it's because you reach a threshold in audience size where you can't be ignored.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that they can do about that. Myron, they sent him off to the depths of the abyss, thinking that they were going to get rid of him. And he did the exact same thing Fuentes did, and he built an empire in the dark, right?
Yeah,
that's what happened.
That's what he had to do.
And so now he comes
parallel
back.
Construct on Rumble.
Now he comes back like a monster in the college tour, right? So now he's back and he's in the college tour. All of his clips are going viral, and it's unstoppable, right? So their whole plan of banishing him to the abyss, well, that really didn't work very well.
Yeah. There is nothing Nick Fuentes could do to get canceled now. Just seriously consider that. Like, what could he do?
They're trying.
At this point? Yeah, but what could he? Literally, what I'm saying is, if he was caught for tax evasion, that still wouldn't.
Oh yeah,
he'd have a huge audience. Like, no one would care.
They've banned him for so long that it's like now it's like no one trusts the censors anymore. Yeah, because they've had him banned. Like there's a war going on right now, dude. Like literally, like I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but like there was like the Republican coalition met here in Vegas a couple of days ago, and they basically declared war on anyone that was critical of, that place in the Middle East. I won't go too far into it.
Yeah.
And they're basically putting a line in the sand. Mark Levin just went straight like, we're going to censor you. We're going to deplatform you. These guys don't deserve a platform, blah, blah, blah. And they're taking the gloves off. So it was a declaration of war. Him, Randy Fine, a bunch of these, Ted Cruz, all these guys got on stage and we're just like going at it. Like everybody is critical of, that
And
stage.
you see that war is just heating up, and you see what's going on social media. You ain't seen nothing yet. Interestingly enough, what happened when they removed, so Fuentes, for instance, he had YouTube, right? Took that. Twitch took that. D Live took that. Right. Next thing, take that. Took him off Twitter. Took him off everything. But what happened is it forced right wingers, not just him. He wasn't the only one who was deplatformed. Alex Jones was deplatformed, for instance. Alex Jones still can't have a channel anywhere. Yeah. Totally deplatformed from anything in the mainstream. And there's many other creators like that. Another good one that most people don't ever talk about is Stefan Molyneux. Stefan Molyneux had the largest philosophy show in the world at the time on YouTube. And he wasn't really making kind of content which was designed to be edgy or anything like that. He was just diving into deep philosophical issues of our time. But he got caught up in the bandwave. They removed him too. What these guys all went and did was they pioneered alternative media, and not just alternative media in the conventional sense, but brand new outlets. So Stefan Molyneux went on. I think he founded a streaming platform. Fuentes, he founds Cozy. When Myron's deplatformed, there was already something there, right? Rumble was there to assist with the alternative. And so what ended up happening is now there's no opposition. So when people are looking for, well, what happens when you find somebody who is deplatformed everywhere and is saying things that you agree with? Well, now they have something they can say. They can say they shut us down because we were telling the truth. And now you feel like you found a hidden gem, man. You found the diamond in the rough, because if they weren't afraid of him, he wouldn't be deplatformed on everything. And so in many ways, the progressives have made their own enemy.
Yeah.
They have made their own enemy by forcing conservatives to make brand new social media platforms, make brand new ways to interact with media. And the second Elon Musk opened up Twitter X and that flood came in, progressives got wiped the out in, what do you think, months?
Yeah.
Couple of months. They were wiped out.
They had to make a blue sky.
Yeah. So going back to what your point, I was listening to this one professor talk about what woke culture is and where woke came from. And woke is stopping the debate, like stopping the discussion. That's essentially what it is. Yeah. I'm so offended, I won't have this discussion with you. So people on the left are not going to debate. Where people on the right were debating with one another. A lot of people on the left,
and they were debating with the left.
Yes. Yeah. And they would, but there was not as many people on the left that wanted to debate because they would feign offensiveness or feign wokeness, or I can't believe we're having this. Think of Larry Summers losing his job at Harvard. Yeah. Because he stated that there's more men outside 1 standard deviation of IQ, and that's why there's not as many women in STEM. He loses his job at Harvard because of that, simply not because anyone wants to deal with the issue on its face, but because they were offended, they were woke, and then therefore they canceled him.
Jordan Peterson.
But
same thing.
Exactly. So here's the problem, right? You keep doing the woke thing and you keep deplatforming them. And so now you kind of win because they can't come out with their argument, which their argument is generally, again, I think our arguments are more sound because they're more sound, but I also think our arguments are more sound because we get attacked more. I do think that because we get attacked so much that we have a bulletproof foundation for our argument. But what happens?
I think my arguments are sound because they're true.
Yes, exactly.
Right, because it's true. And when you're arguing from the truth perspective, it's hard to lose.
But you've also seen flat earthers go on and debate somebody and make them look silly, even though the earth isn't flat. It's like the skilled debater.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
you can argue positions which aren't true effectively.
Yes,
and win. Yeah. I've seen that many times. I'm not arguing that that's not the case. You're completely right about that.
Yeah,
I would just say, I think that it's an audience distinction thing. I think you're right that woke is designed not just to shut down conversation and debate, but even more important, I don't even think it's the wokies themselves who want that. They seem to actually want to engage in debate. The Twitch sphere, they want to engage in debate. The Destinies of the world, as Myron knows, they want to engage in debate.
He's one of the few.
A lot of these people do. They're terrified of their audience. So it's like a giant virtue signal. You can imagine, if you will, a priest, right, who has a Puritan parish. Maybe he wants to have a drink with his kid, but he can't because the optics are so bad, right? Just like a celebratory, oh, congratulations or something like this. The optics are too bad. They can't.
Andrew, that's an interesting point because like I've always thought to myself like why? Because I've always thought like okay, their arguments are weak. They're just scared to talk to us, right? That's why they come up like because what do? You're a Nazi. I'm not going to talk to you.
Audience
You're a fascist. I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah.
But that's a good point where they're scared of their audience too.
Yes.
Where even talking to someone or debating someone with a different viewpoint is so heinous to them. Like they'll like Mehdi Hassan.
Yes.
He did the 20 verse 1. I don't debate fascists.
Yeah, that's it.
What?
Well, but what
Like-
is that except a virtue signal? He's signaling to his audience.
Yeah.
I'm on your side. I agree with you. These people are too heinous to ever be in my distinguished Mehdi Hassan presence. See,
Yeah.
there I am too distinguished
Good point.
for people like these low tier to come in on here and discuss the issues of our time. Their audience is making that demand. Your audience is opposite. So what Myron's audience will do is they're demanding that he engage.
Yeah.
His audience is like, get him, get that leftist, get that progressive,
Yeah.
get that feminist, get that.
Same
Right?
with your audience.
That's
too.
the
They wanna see that.
that's the
Yeah.
whole. They're like they want to see their worldview
Conservatives want to
represented,
see debates.
and they think that that my worldview can destroy all others. And I think it can for the most part, right? But Myron, your audience does too. They think that your worldview is superior, so they want to see it showcased.
Yep.
And you know what? If you lose, they'll even tell you that too.
Yep.
Like,
They
hey
will.
man, you lost this one, but who cares? Get right back into it.
Yeah.
Their audience does the opposite. If you watch the YouTube comments and you watch what progressive audiences do, 90% of the comments are, "This is why you don't have conservatives on. This is why you can't trust these neo.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why these people
Yes.
are not worth your time. Stay away from these people. I hate these people." It's always don't bring them back on. We want to come into our echo chamber where we can be a bunch of lunatics and right,
Yeah.
and we don't want
Yeah.
any pushback because it makes us feel upsetty spaghetti. So it's like that's the difference, I think, bro.
And as much as people hate Destiny, that's one thing I give him credit for is he will go into conservative
Yeah,
hotbeds.
DGG
and
loves
debate.
that.
Yeah,
Like he'll
they
do it. He's like the only progressive that will actively do it. These other guys, and I kind of got red pilled, and Andrew, you're gonna know exactly what I'm saying. You know, me and you both work with Tim quite a bit. When Tim Pool tries to do his culture wars, it's so hard for him to find progressives that want to come on
Yeah.
and do debates.
We did the same thing for election night. We couldn't find a
Yeah.
single girl in the
Why
city.
Dude,
Yeah.
like,
And then
or
we
if
got
they
ripped
do
off.
say they're going to come on, they want to get paid or something like
Yeah.
that because they know that they're going to get cooked. And it's like, but like with conservatives, like they're totally cool with like sitting down and talking to progressives, but like so many of them, and that's why Destiny's so big. Actually, he's one of the few progressives that will sit there despite all the
Yeah.
scandals, all the hate, everything like that.
He
He's so big
represents the
because
worldview well.
he actively goes in and actually engages in debates with the other side.
And
That's
he
why
wins.
people like him, and he
And
wins
he
sometimes.
wins.
Yeah,
And so
he
the
does.
thing is like, yeah,
He
I'm not
does.
going to take that away from the
I
guy.
give him credit.
Right? He does win. But the thing is like,
Hassan doesn't debate.
Yeah.
Kalinsky doesn't debate.
yeah,
The Dean Withers doesn't debate because he's a
yeah.
right. Who else? Harry Sisson. None of these guys
Not,
really
not
debate.
just
TikTok
that,
mute
Parker, right? Most of the TikTokers,
Yeah.
things like this, they don't want debates. They want
None of
low
them do.
information, low IQ TikTok surfers to jump on their
Reductive
stream
beliefs,
so
no
that they can
nuance.
dunk on them.
Do you think
Professional debates, no way, no
but do
way.
you think